Good evening, and welcome to Read with Chide Day 33. It's exciting to be here. Welcome to you. Thank you for joining me again this evening. I am excited that we're already on day 33. This is our first day of trying to catch up. We read this morning, and now we're reading this evening again. We will do the same thing on Wednesday, that's tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. Hopefully, we're able to keep up with that energy. Hi, Christiana. How was your day? Hope you had a lovely day. Yes, so today we are reading Exodus 29 and Exodus 30. Exodus 29 and Exodus 30. Christiana, how has the study of Exodus been for you? What has been the most interesting thing so far? These Hebrew guys. I'm hoping you respond. Um, Getting right into it, Exodus chapter 29, verse 1. And this is the thing that thou shalt do unto them to hallow them. Now, remember, we've been reading God's instructions on how they should build the tabernacle, the Ark of the Covenant, the veil dividing the holy place and most holy, the table, what should be on it, the shewbread, all of that. Aaron's, outfit and all of that. Aaron's priestly outfit, not just any outfit. Um, yes, Exodus 29, verse 1. And this is the thing that thou shalt do unto them to hallow them, to minister unto me in the priest's office. Take one young bullock and two rams without blemish, and unleavened bread and cakes unleavened, tempered with oil, and wafers unleavened, anointed with oil. Of wheaten flour shalt thou make them, and thou shalt excuse me, excuse me, and thou shalt put them in one basket, and bring them in the basket with the bullock and with two rams. And Aaron and his sons shall thou and Aaron and his sons thou shalt bring unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and shalt wash them with water. And thou shalt take the garments and put upon Aaron the coat and the robe of the ephod and the breastplate, and gird him with the curious girdle of the ephod. And thou shalt put the mitre upon his head, and put the holy crown upon the mitre. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right. Um, thou shalt Then shalt thou take the anointing oil and pour it upon his head and anoint him. And thou shalt bring his sons and put coats upon them, and thou shalt gird them with girdles, Aaron and his sons, and put the bonnets on them, and the priest's office shall be theirs for a perpetual statute. And thou shalt consecrate Aaron and his sons. And thou shalt cause a bullock to be brought before the tabernacle of the congregation, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the bullock, and thou shalt kill the bullock before the Lord by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And thou shalt take the blood of the bullock and put it upon the horns of the altar with thy fingers, and pour all the blood inside the bottom of the altar. And thou shalt take all the fat that covereth the inwards, and the caul that is above the liver, and two kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and burn them upon the altar. But the flesh of the bullock and his skin and his dung shalt thou burn with fire without the camp. It is a sin offering. Thou shalt also take one ram, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hand upon the head of the ram, and thou shalt slay the ram, and thou shalt take his blood and sprinkle it round about upon the altar. And thou shalt cut the ram in pieces, and wash the inwards of him and his legs, and put them in onto his pieces and up onto his head. And thou shalt burn the whole ram upon the altar, It is a burnt offering unto the Lord. It is a sweet savour, an offering made by fire unto the Lord. And thou shalt take the other ram, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hand upon the head of the ram. Thou shalt then shalt thou kill the ram and take of his blood and put it upon the tip of the right ear of Aaron, and put upon the tip of the right ear of his sons, and upon the thumb of their right hand, and upon the great toe of their right foot, and sprinkle the blood on upon the altar round about. And thou shalt take of the blood that is upon the altar and of the anointing oil, and sprinkle it upon Aaron and upon his garments and upon his sons and upon the garments of his sons with him, and he shall be hallowed, and his garments and his sons' garments with them. Also thou shalt take of the ram and the fat and the rump and the fat that covereth the inwards, and the caul above the liver, and the two kidneys and the fat that is upon them, and the right shoulder, for it is a ram of consecration. So you see, the one that was a sin offering, it says burned all those things entirely. For the one that is a for consecration, the instruction is different, right? So it says, verse 23, and one loaf of bread, and one cake of oiled bread, and one wafer out of the basket of the unleavened bread that is before the Lord. And thou shalt put all in the hands of Aaron and in his sons and the hands of his sons, and shalt wave them for a wave offering before the Lord. And thou shalt receive them of their hands and burn them upon the altar for a burnt offering, for a sweet savour before the Lord. It is an offering made by fire unto the Lord. And thou shalt take the breast of the ram of Aaron's consecration and wave it for a wave offering before the Lord, and it shall be thy part. And thou shalt sanctify the breast of the wave offering and the shoulder of the heave offering, and which is waved, and which is heaved up, of the ram of the consecration, even of that which is for Aaron, and that which is for his sons. And it shall be Aaron's and his sons by a statute forever from the children of Israel, for it is a heave offering, and it shall be an heave offering from the children of Israel of the sacrifice of the peace offerings, even their heave offering unto the Lord. Now the holy garments of Aaron shall be his sons for after him. So remember, God detailed what the garment should look like, there's precious stones on it, and all of that. And that his son, and that son that is priest in his stead, shall put them on 7 days, when he cometh into the tabernacle of the congregation to minister in the holy place. And thou shalt take the ram of the consecration and sieve his flesh in the holy place. And Aaron and his sons shall eat the flesh of the ram and the bread that is in the basket by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And they shall eat those things wherewith the atonement was made, to consecrate and to sanctify them. But a stranger shall not eat thereof, because they are holy. And if aught of the flesh of the consecration or of the bread remain until the morning, then thou shalt burn the remainder with fire. It shall not be eaten, because it is holy. And thus shalt thou do unto Aaron and to his sons according to all that I have commanded thee. 7 days shalt thou consecrate them. And thou shalt offer every day a bullock for a sin offering, for atonement, and thou shalt cleanse the altar when thou hast made an atonement for it, and thou shalt anoint it and sanctify it. 7 days shalt thou make an atonement for the altar and sanctify it, and it shall be an altar most holy. Whatsoever toucheth the altar shall be holy. Remember this for later. Whatsoever toucheth the altar shall be holy. Not because the thing that touches the altar is holy in itself. Even the altar is not holy in itself. It is holy because God has said that that altar is holy. So as a result, anything that touches the altar is holy. Remember this for later. Now this is that which thou shalt offer upon the altar: 2 lambs of the first year, day by day, continually, and 1 lamb that thou shalt offer in the morning, and the other lamb thou shalt offer at evening. And with 1 lamb a tenth deal of flour mingled with the fourth part of a hin of beaten oil, and the fourth part of an hin of wine for a drink offering. And the other lamb thou shalt offer at even, and shalt do thereto according to the meat offering of the morning, and according to the drink offering thereof. for a sweet savour, an offering made by fire unto the Lord. This shall be a continual burnt offering throughout your generations at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord, where I will meet you, to speak there unto thee. And there I will meet with the children of Israel, and the tabernacle shall be sanctified by my glory. And I will sanctify the tabernacle of the congregation and the altar, and I will sanctify also both Aaron and his sons, to minister to me in the priest's office. And I will dwell among the children of Israel, and I will be their God. And they shall know that I am the Lord their God that brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, that I may dwell among them. I am the Lord their God. Exodus chapter 30, verse 1. And thou shalt make an altar to burn incense upon. Of shittim wood thou shalt make it. Interesting wood. A cubit shall be the length thereof, and a cubit the breadth thereof. 4 shall it be, and 2 cubits shall be the height thereof. The horns thereof shall be of the same. I wonder whether this is where 4 got their name from, to say like perfect square, according to God's instructions for building most of the things in the tabernacle. Who knows? Verse 3. And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold, and top thereof, and the sides thereof round about, and the horns thereof thou shalt make unto it a crown of gold round about. And 2 golden rings shalt thou make to it under the crown of it, by the 2 corners thereof, upon the 2 sides of it thou shalt thou make it, and they shall be for places for the staves to bear it withal. And thou shalt make the staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold. And thou shalt put it before the veil that is by the ark of the testimony, before the mercy seat that is over the testimony, where I will meet with thee. And Aaron shall burn thereon sweet incense every morning. When he dresseth the lamps, he shall burn incense upon it. And when Aaron lighted up the lamps at even, he shall burn incense upon it, a perpetual incense before the Lord throughout your generations. He shall offer no strange incense thereon, nor burnt sacrifice, nor meat offering, neither shall he pour drink offering thereon. And Aaron shall make an atonement upon the horns of it once a year, with the blood of the sin offering of atonement. Once in the year shall he make atonement upon it throughout your generations. It is the most holy unto the Lord. Like, I feel like I just realized, why was I pulling my ear? I felt like this was like very delicate instruction, like instruction that must not be broken, because it has to do with the most holy place, not just the holy place, which is the outer part of the veil. Verse 11. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, When thou takest the sum of the children of Israel after their number, then shall they give every man a ransom for his soul unto the Lord, when thou numberest them, that there be no plague among them when thou numberest them. This they shall give every one that passeth among them that are numbered half a shekel, after the shekel of the sanctuary. A shekel is 20 gerahs, and half shekel shall be of the offering of the Lord. Every one that passeth among them are numbered from 20 years old and above shall give an offering unto the Lord. The rich shall not give more, and the poor shall not give less than half a shekel, when they give an offering unto the Lord to make an atonement for their souls. And thou shalt take the atonement money of the children of Israel, and shall appoint it for the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and it that it may be a memorial unto the children of Israel before the Lord, to make an atonement for your souls. Now, I think I said it already this morning and even yesterday, that up until now, every single time I've read through Exodus, I breezed past all these parts where it was saying, oh, the instructions for the tabernacle, instructions for Aaron's outfit, instructions for, all those plenty things, rules and regulations. I used to just breeze past them. So I never really noticed this thing we just read. Now, quick story. So I grew up in a church where they used to have a lot of, prophecies. So they had prophets, right, who would say, oh, God said we should have a special program. They should pray for the children. Parents should pay, at that time, say 500 naira per child, or they should pray for everybody. Adults should pay 1,000 naira, children should pay 200 naira each. So a parent that has 5 children is budgeting 2K, right? 1,000 naira for themselves, 200 naira per child, or whatever. Of course, it's more like 500 naira per adult, 200 naira per child, because this was a while ago, like, right? Like when I was much younger, that were in that church. So, um, I remember my mom would be like, at the point where, we were deciding we were going to leave the church, my mom was like, all these things, I don't believe it, because how come God Himself is instructing the amount to pay, that, oh, adults should pay this amount, children should pay this amount? Nowhere in the Bible is that done and stuff like that. But I'm realizing, hey, this is the Bible, and God was instructing that as they come, as each of the Israelites come, every person who is 20 years and above should give 1 shekel, whether you are half a shekel, right? Rather, whether you are poorer or richer, it doesn't matter. Everybody give, once you are 20 and above, half a shekel. Of course, that doesn't directly mean that what they were doing in that church was correct, or whether it was true or not. I'm only saying that we thought for the longest time that there was no such thing in the Bible where God specifically said how much people should contribute. But here we have it. Okay, and thou shalt take the atonement money of the children of Israel and shall appoint it for the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, that it may be a memorial unto the children of Israel before the Lord, to make an atonement for your souls. Verse 17. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Thou shalt also make a laver. Excuse me. Okay. Thou shalt also make a laver of brass, and his foot also of brass, to wash withal. And thou shalt put it between the tabernacle of the congregation and the altar. And thou shalt put water therein, for Aaron and his sons shall wash their hands and their feet thereat. Then, when they go into the tabernacle of the congregation, they shall wash with water, and that they die not. Or when they come near to the altar to minister to burn offering made by fire unto the Lord, so they shall wash their hands and their feet, that they die not. And it shall be a statute forever to them, even to him and to his seed throughout their generations. Moreover, the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take thou also unto thee 3 principal spices of pure myrrh, 500 shekels, and of sweet cinnamon, half so much, even 250 shekels, and of sweet calamus, 250 shekels, and of cassia, 500 shekels, after the shekels of the sanctuary, and of oil, olive, and hin. And thou shalt make it an oil of holy ointment, an ointment compound after the art of the apothecary. It shall be an holy anointing oil, and thou shalt anoint the tabernacle of the congregation therewith, and the ark of the testimony, and the table, and all his vessels, and the candlestick of his vessels, and the altar of incense, and the altar of burnt offering, with all his vessels, and the laver at his feet. And thou shalt sanctify them, that they may be holy, that they may be most holy. Whatsoever toucheth them shall be holy. Again, we are seeing, why are they holy? Because they've touched the tabernacle. Why is the tabernacle holy? Because God called it holy. Um, and verse 30 now, and thou shalt anoint Aaron and his sons and consecrate them, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. Upon man's flesh shall it not be poured, neither shall he make any other like it after the composition of it. It is holy and shall be holy unto you. Very interesting. God did not say use it to anoint everybody. This is anointing oil, anoint people. Specifically, He says this is anointing oil. Use it to anoint the tabernacle. And it says specifically, upon man's flesh shall it not be poured. Verse 33, whatsoever compounded any like it, whosoever compounded any like it, or whosoever putteth any of it upon a stranger shall even be cut off from his people. And the Lord said unto Moses, Take unto thee sweet spices, stacked, and onycha, and galbanum, These sweet spices with pure frankincense, of each shall there be a like weight. And thou shalt make it a perfume, a confection after the art of the apothecary, tempered together and pure and holy. And thou shalt beat some of it very small, and put it before the testimony of the tabernacle of the congregation, where I will meet with thee. It shall be unto you most holy. And as for the perfume which thou shalt make, it shall not make to you, ye shall not make to yourselves according to the composition thereof. It shall be unto thee holy for the Lord. So don't make something like this for yourself to just be wearing about as perfume. I'm recording a video. So don't make something like this as regular perfume to just be wearing about. This particular composition is specifically for the tabernacle. Verse 38. Whosoever shall make like unto that to smell thereto shall even be cut off from his people. What's the problem? And that brings us to the end of our reading for today. May God bless the reading of his word. Yeah, come and say hello. Say hi. What do you mean?
Those that I should check that it is not check. You should open check your comparison.
Go and check grandpa's room on the shelf in grandpa's room. There's a container that has tray. Apologies for that. She was just looking at me with gooey puppy dog eyes. Yes, so Christiana, share with me what stood out for you. Emmanuel, if you're still here, can please share with me what stood out for you, what you found very interesting as we read, um, what questions you probably have, so that we can go back and study on those questions together, and then come back with answers. Um, I'm glad that we are catching up to the days that we've missed. Join me again tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. and then evening 9 p.m. 6:30 a.m. in the morning, evening 9 p.m. until we catch up. Thank you once again for tuning in. I'm so glad you get to do this with me every time I'm live. If you are watching the replay, please do well to click the subscribe button if you haven't, and click the bell icon so that you are notified every single time we are live. Because it's probably because you didn't click the bell icon, that's why you're not here. That's why you're watching the replay. Yeah, have a lovely, lovely evening, Christiana. Thank you for tuning in. Good night. See you tomorrow morning.